Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Letitia and this is That's So Letitia. And for today's video, I guess first and foremost, welcome back Letitia. Thank you Letitia. Yeah, I've been gone for a few weeks. It feels like a lifetime, honestly, it does. Anytime you take any time away from being in front of your camera, definitely in regards to beauty, once you get back in front of your camera, you feel so outdated. There's so many products and services and methods and techniques that are ever changing. So it's like, okay, you have to stay in front of this camera so that you can be updated and you can update your supporters. Speaking of supporters, what's up guys? Thank you so much for sticking around. Even in my absence, I see I have a few new supporters. But yeah, so let's just get right into it. So for today's look, basically what I am going to do is a kind of prideful, inspired look. And to pull that off, I will be using one of the most brightest, colorfulest palettes that Anastasia Beverly actually has brought out. Again, it's just my opinion. And that palette is by Miss Alyssa Edwards. Definitely Pride appropriate. And for the month of Pride, happy Pride everybody. So this is the palette that we are going to be working from. But first, let's deal with this base. First and foremost, as always, we are going to start with a little bit of sunscreen. Sunscreen I will be using is by none other than Black Girl Sunscreen. I absolutely adore using this sunscreen. It works wonders when you use it. However, because I have been on the move, I have been hustling and bustling, Letitia, I actually left my sunscreen in one of my luggages. That was not easily accessible. And out here in this heat, I burned a lot. I don't know if you guys can see all of this. Basically my entire face up against my neck or even my hands. Do y'all see this? Do you see that? This hand looks like it belongs to someone else compared to the shade of brown on my neck, which is my winter color. But because I tanned and even burned a little bit on my arm so much throughout this entire move, I have decided to try and go with a more appropriate shade of foundation to complement this tan. So now that I have my SPF on, I'm going to follow up with a little bit of a setting powder, which also has SPF in it. This one is by Bare Minerals, and it is in the shade named Warm Dark, number 26. This one is a broad spectrum SPF of 15. So what I am attempting to do, and I've been doing this for a few videos now, in front of the camera as well as behind the scenes in my everyday makeup applications, I'm attempting to use products that have SPF in them, especially, during the daylight hours where there's sun exposure, and especially for, the area that I'm in, it's like Groundhog Day out here for the most part. It's always hot, dry, and sunny all the time. So SPF is definitely needed. For my actual foundation, I'm going to be using Too Faced Born This Way, but again, because I am a little bit more tanned or darker than my original shade, I'm going to go with a more richer toned shade. Hopefully this is a match. If not, it is a lesson learned to never leave your SPF behind. So the shade I am going to attempt is going to be this guy here, which is Spiced Rum. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually do 1 pump of Spiced Rum and then one pump of my original, which is chai. So I am stirring my mixture of Spiced Rum and chai, and let's see what we come up with. Okay, so foundation is done, and I don't know, I feel like Spiced Rum mixed with chai is giving me everything I need for this tan. This color, guys, I hope it translates well on film. It is gorgeous. I really like it. I don't feel washed out like I started feeling with my original foundation, because I was trying so hard to match it to this area and it wasn't showing up well until I did like my whole face. This is literally just the foundation and obviously my eyebrows, but I'm digging it. Okay, let's move on. So next I'm going to do my concealer. I am going to use Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. They tried to market this one as a foundation / concealer. It's always worked so well for me as just a concealer. Just gonna put it under my eye. Yeah, I don't know, like, what was the move behind, you know, maybe they were trying to be groundbreaking and say, hey, we have a concealer / foundation, but this one always works so well for me just as a concealer, especially because it has the added bonus of having a bit of caffeine in it. So, you know, it has the ability of giving you a little bit of lift, or, you know, decreasing some of the puffiness in your under eye area, and not everybody has that all over their face. So I don't know who would necessarily want like caffeine all over their face. I don't know, that's just me. But I have the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer on my under eye, and then I'm going to follow up with I Am Magic Concealer by Juvia's Place. This one is in the shade number 9. I'm just going to put that under my eye as well, just a little bit. And we're just going to allow that to dry down just for a few minutes, so that especially in the under eye areas, I get the most coverage I can possibly get out of this, meaning I need this bad boy to almost dry. And then I just kind of pat it around a little bit, because yeah, the sleep has been deprived lately. But hopefully this coming week, I'll be able to relax in my new place and chill and actually get some much needed sleep. I doubt it. I'm too excited to sleep, but I'm trying. Okay, so now that I've allowed it to dry down a little bit, I'm now going to blend it in using a the Sephora Pro Airbrush brush. And this one is number 56. Let's check this coverage. So we have our concealers on. Off camera, I applied a darker concealer for contouring purposes. That one was also by Juvia's Place, I Am Magic. That one was in the shade number 6. So what we are going to do now is just kind of set all this stuff. I am going to be using setting powder by Bakerie. This is their flower powder, and this one is in the shade Almond or Chestnut. Just adjust my word here. Sponge to my under eye areas. I'm just so ready to get into this eyeshadow. I've had this palette for a while now. I love the color story, and I bought it for that reason. However, you know, given that me and eyeshadows at the time that I got it, I was still really trying to get my foot. I was still like really experimenting with, you know, do I want to do eyeshadow? Do I not? You know, I had the foundation and brow and, you know, concealer. I had that kind of together, but it was just something about eyeshadows that I'm like, why do I need eyeshadows? I can do this, I can do that, I can do lipsticks or my lip glosses, and, you know, just create a more clearer complexion and going about my life. But oh baby, once I started with eyeshadows, there was no turning back, none at all. I'm like, yes, so what? Sometimes it's a little off, it ain't blended well. We gonna get this together. Which brings me to a point. A lot of my videos, honestly, majority of my previous videos that had the flower backdrop, the eyeshadow for those looks, the eyeshadow, the brows, all of that for those looks that I literally did in front of the camera, I did them in pitch dark. It was dark as hell. There was no light on in the room outside of my ring light, which I had to have cut all the way down at the time because the light from the ring light was so powerful, it would have drowned me out. Yeah. So all of those videos, like if you go back and you look, any of my videos that had that backdrop, with the exception of 2, I did them with absolutely no light. Not even the light in front of me to see the palette or see the mirror I was using. I literally only had my ring light. The things that we do to still pursue our dreams. What was supposed to be an obstacle actually turned into a learning experience. It became a challenge. Every time I knew I was going to do a video, I'm like, okay, I have to do it in the dark. And the reason I had to do it in the dark is because the light where I was staying was so warm. It was so warm that it literally made me look orange. I already have warm undertones. Some of the shades of makeup I was using were warm, and yeah, it like made everything just warm, and that was obviously not a good look. So the only way to combat that was to do my makeup in the dark, where the only light source I had was one that would complement my complexion, which was highlight. So now I'm just going to set all over with a thin layer of Too Faced Multi-Purpose Complexion Powder, and this one is in the shade Chai. Stay tuned, there will be more revelations from that Soul Letitia about various things and obstacles that I overcame to still produce some content. And then lastly, for our complexion, then we're going to move. I am going to be using a bronzer palette by Juvia's Place. This is their bronze palette, and it is in the shade Dark. This one's cured. You get two interchangeable, mixable, or you can use them separately. Powdered MAC bronzers. I am going to use this top one here, and if need be, then we'll just kind of marry the two together. And I'm going to be using a bronzer brush. This is by Colored Rain. This is their angled bronzer slash blush brush. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of both. We're just going to whisk it. So the palette that we will be working from today, it's by Anastasia Beverly in collaboration with Alyssa Edwards. This palette is so fun, vibrant, and bright. I've had this palette for quite a while now. I think I may have attempted 1 or 2 looks out of it, just because when I bring this palette out, it's like I have to have one that fun, creative, bold, very confident vibe on me in order for me to be able to even work with this palette. I love this palette. Honestly, all of the colors in this palette transfer so well onto any skin tone. They complement any skin tone that may ever be out there. They're very bold, bright, confident themselves, especially the color story that Alyssa put together for this palette, top notch. First shade I'm going to start with is this one here, which is called Believe, and I'm actually going to use the brush that typically comes with Anastasia Beverly palettes. I'm going to use that brush. I'm going to use the fluffier side of the brush. We're going to go into Believe, which is a matte purple. And I'm going to begin placing that in the inner corner of the eye. And look at how vibrant that is. The color is gorgeous. Now I'm going to do the same to opposite eye. So take it from me, do not swirl your brush. Don't swirl your brush. You will get a lot like I just did. And then the next, hey. And then the next color I'm going to use is Yellow Brick Road. And I just picked up a clean Anastasia Beverly Hills palette brush. And I am going to lightly place that right in the middle area, right behind. Oh, sorry, believe. So just a thin layer behind. Just gonna and then what we're going to do, we're going to take Treatment, which is this matte blue, and we are going to pack that at the outer corner of our eye. Do it in layers though, do it in layers. As we just saw with the purple, this palette is extremely pigmented. Just want to blend it. Just want to build on it. So I don't want to put too much like I just did with Believe, and we're left trying to sort it out. In the middle, we are going to take a little bit more eyeshadow primer. I'm going to apply just a tad bit more using my Morphe M224. Just going to right there. Just in the middle. And what I'm going to do now is put down Inspire, which is this kind of antique gold shimmer shade. And since shimmers often are best applied with a finger because you get to grip the pigment, I'm going to use the same brush that I actually applied my eye primer with, which is my Morphe M224 brush. I'm just going to lightly wipe off a little bit of the primer, but leaving the brush still kind of damp. I'm going to go into Inspire, pick up some of the pigment, and we are going to place it right there. And what we are going to do is use a clean brush. This is a blend brush by Eco Tools. We're going to go into Texas Made, which is this fuchsia magenta color here. Take a little bit of brush. I'm just going to pack that on the outer perimeter of where we just put Inspire. To line our lower waterline, I will be using by Marc Jacobs. This is a gelled highlight eyeliner, and it is in the shade named Plumage. Just going to bring it outwards just a little bit so it's not only lining, but looks almost as if you're giving it like a little bit of a smoky under eye effect. And for our blush, I'm going to be using Savage by Nars. This color here. It's a shimmer color. I love this shade because although I don't necessarily like using highlight, just because I feel like sometimes it gives me too much shine. This one gives just the right amount. So it's like highlight and blush in one. I swear you cannot go wrong with Savage. Everybody needs Savage. Your makeup kit, your makeup drawer, your makeup bag. Everyone needs it. It's such a universal, beautifully pigmented blush. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our lips, which means we're almost done. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this entire look is about to come together. It's coming to form, but it's about to come together. So for our lip liner, I'm going to be using, this is by NYX Cosmetics. This is one of their Suede lip liners, and this one is called Vintage. White palms. And then to fill it in, I'm wanting to stay kind of neutral with the lip just because the eye is so bold. So I'm going to be using also by NYX. This is Milky Gloss, and this one is in the shade Milk and Honey. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys like it. It's a little dramatic, but I wanted to do something kind of out there since I haven't seen you guys in a while. And yeah, so also off camera, I applied lashes. These are by Eylure. They are from the Jasmin collection. And I applied a little inner eye highlight. This is from my Juvia's Place, the Masquerade Mini Palette. And that shade is Giza. I hope I'm saying that right. Giza. But yeah, guys, so this is it. She is done. Again, as I stated, I hope you guys enjoyed this look as much as I enjoyed figuring it out in my head on camera to put together for you all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all of your support. And until you and I chat again, I'm going to leave you with my latest video, which is my movie. Hope you guys enjoy that one as well. And until next time, guys, we shall chat again soon.